I don't know why this is so zoomed in. I'm going to double check settings here. Okay, looks like we're working. I don't know if we need that light on or not. Take my shoes off. Well, I guess I can edit this part out. Okay. You know what I might do? My mocktail. All right. I'm going silent. Shoot. Okay. Looks like it is pretty much time to go. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Let's try desktop. Okay. Hey everybody. Hope that you are having an amazing day. We're just going to move this over. I'm going to show you some stuff of what I have going on and part of my system. So I'm sharing part of my system right now. And I've been doing this for a little over 2 years. So I found a few things that work for me and that don't. So my tracking system that I use is Asana, and I have it called Hustle and Heart Fitness Co. So I basically created this. I did have a training or two, and then I edited a few areas and customized it when I set this up. So I might make a video and show you exactly how I did set this up. But basically, Asana is free. It's amazing. So here's the website. And then there are tasks that you can assign to others. So the one good thing about Asana is that in time when you need like an assistant or a virtual assistant, this is a great platform to share. Plus, it's also free. So you can have team conversations and calendars and stuff. So the calendar looks like this. And here's an example of how you can view some of what I did on, let's say, Wednesday the 4th. Looks like I did a workout. I have people added in there. This is kind of slow because it's on screen share, but you can scroll down, you can go back, and you can track and see what I completed and different people I've added over here. So you can show weekends, but looks like a great tracking system. So anyways, let's just get to the meat. You can create a project down here, and I created this one, daily to-dos, and that's basically my power hour broken down. When you add a task, I could add a task and I could say, this is just an example, team powwow session, just a nickname, don't take offense. So if I was adding this task, it would be team powwow session. Now I can have a description here. It's under my category of daily to-dos, and I could have a due date. I could also have right here, I use these tags in a different area, but tags are kind of like hashtags. So it would give you a category, but I don't know why I would need to do that here. So basically I would just put weekly, three-way, or maybe one-on-one coach sessions, or a Zoom call. So team powwow session, weekly, three-way, one-on-one, or Zoom call, something like that. So this is not something that I actually do daily, but I'm going to put a due date here. And what that means is this is how I set reminders, and this is how I see what I have to get done in a day. It sounds a little bit tricky, but basically, so it has today highlighted, and I can add a specific time, which I never do that. I never upgrade to have a start date. But what I do is I set, and you only have to do this really once after you create your daily to-do list or your power hour, whatever. I can have it repeat 7 days after completion. But if you click that and then the repeat, what I can do is what I did on most all these other ones, all these, like my Shakeco, my workout, I have that set daily. So you could do periodically, but let's just say we want to do this weekly because it's a complicated one. And what day do we normally have team calls? Well, let's just say normally we do it on Tuesdays. You could do it Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays if you wanted. Maybe you have a team call on Tuesdays. Maybe you have one-on-ones on Wednesdays, and then maybe you have like a three-way call set up with like your top coaches or something on a Thursday. Then you would click all of these. But for now, we're just going to leave it, and we're just going to have Tuesday. We don't have a specific time. I don't want to put a specific time because that's ever changing. So that if I put done, then it would be there. And so it would have today. So once I actually, because I have everything set on repeat, this is super important, and this is the only tricky thing about Asana. If I was to go in and check this off, a task, a normal task, you would think on like a piece of paper, it'd be fine to mark it as complete. It's only fine to mark things as complete as long as you have it set up to repeat for you. So in order to do that is like exactly what we just did in the team powwow session that I created that task. Because I have it set up, repeats weekly on Tuesday, that means that even if I click this off, I will never have to recreate this task because it will always show up on a Tuesday. So that's what I mean by making sure that you have it set to repeat somewhere at some point in time. So we have team powwow session. We are doing that right now. So we are going to click and boom, it's gone. But oh wait, it repeats. So it popped back up because we did complete it. And so now this task, I don't actually have to repeat until Tuesday. So see what I mean about personalizing this stuff and making it super, you're not only able to personalize it, but you can customize stuff for time, for days. So this is all stuff that helps me remember exactly what I need to do each and every day. So for now, on my daily to-dos, this is my power hour stuff that I run through. I never get lost. I am able to be a lot more efficient because I have this list to follow. I can click that because I've finished it. Now don't freak out, it did disappear, but then it re-pops up and it shows tomorrow. So I have some examples written in the description here. And on my daily to-dos, I never use tags. It's just not necessary for me. There's some other stuff here that you can take a look at, but I only have this set on what days I want it to repeat, whether it's daily, once a week, 3 times a week, what have you. So that's all I have. I had created this task. See, I can actually go in and edit it if need be and have it be something else. And I can actually go in and delete it. If I delete the task, it will be forever gone. And you can also assign whoever you have in here. Now, at one point, I'd added Rachel and her sister because they were going to look into maybe using Asana, so I wanted them to have an inside look. I have no idea how much time we have left in this video, but so QOTD, I have that for quote of the day. What I have here is a collection of quotes that meant something to me. If I have a quote, what I do is put it here, I return it, I type in my quote, I press it, and it's there. I can always write comments as well, but I don't know why I'd need to comment on where I'm storing this. So 15 follow-ups. Once that's done, I click it. Tracked contacts, making sure that I'm putting stuff in here and setting up follow-up dates. I'll go over that in a minute. So workout. My workout I did not do yesterday, so that is why it's showing up in red. That's showing me an overdue task. So it's kind of nice because if you didn't complete it, don't check it off. And it'll just stay red like that. So let's see. Then I have reminders to post on my team page, to post in a goal-orientated page, reminders to promote a coach or challenger, to show my challenge group, my personal development, to encourage that, starting 20 new combos, inviting 10 new people. And so I do have some stuff written down here that, like, there's times where I've written notes kind of up here, but I kind of stopped doing that. It's just like, did I do it or did I not? So, oh, I actually do already have powwow goal set already in here. So, boom. So I didn't need to create this one to show you, but that is a good example. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in and delete this task, and it's going to ask you again, do you want to delete it permanently? And I do. Delete. Okay, so I can scroll down and I can see post and like page. Just a reminder to do that daily, weekly wrap up stuff. So I set this to only occur on Fridays. So every Friday I go in, and you'll notice here, if you click your little calendar, it'll show you repeats weekly on Friday. You can always edit that out if you need to. But it's showing me that on Fridays, this is what I do. And then I have a little bit of descriptions here. Oh, it looks like I only have 2 right now of SHIT that I need to wrap up. So check online office home for new customers. And then that's where I make sure that I email out all new customers, so that I use that script welcoming them, giving them my information, letting them know that I have monthly challenge groups, and then I'm here for any questions. And I ask them the best way to connect. I give them a little bit about my story and when I started 21 Day Fix back in May 2015, and Shakeology and how it's forever changed my life. Up until, okay, so it's just another note. So whatever stuff that you sometimes forget to do, I would say weekly wrap up on like pick a Friday or a Saturday to just double check it. But yeah, I do have quite a bit of tasks in here, but I have it so that I don't have to worry like I'm forgetting something, which I don't like to do. So post and like page, which is my separate Facebook page where you can run events and just post about health and fitness stuff like that. It comes in handy when you're further into your business, but don't worry about starting that now if you haven't. I have currently been going live. I set a goal for myself to go live 30 days in a row, and that is so that I can increase engagement. And Facebook just loves it when you use their live features. So when you make other posts, like inviting to your challenge group or something like that, they allow more eyes on it, basically. Is they want you using that live feature. And also, I'm not the best on video, so it is making me have to consciously think about more content, think about what my type of customer may want to learn. And so whether that's sharing a recipe or showing how I'm adding fruit to my water and using a shaker cup, and so that I'm getting some fruit infused water, or showing them how I do my hair, or anything. It can be anything. It can be 1 minute. It can be 2 hours long if you want it to be. But I'm just getting practice on that. So I've not gone live yet today. I've not invited people. So basically I have a lot left to do in my power hour. But this will always stay this way. Every single one of these tasks I'm able to check off as soon as I am done doing it within the day, because I have it set to repeat. Now, I do have quotes here, which I also have quotes that, I don't know, it was personal development. Someone said that it's important to save your quotes. And so I started doing that. I don't know if it's just for reference or to share later on, but I did. I do have a project I created called Beachbody Leads. I feel like Asana is a great place to have everything and save it in one. You know what I mean? If the Beachbody website ever crashed and we lost all of our leads in there, if we don't have them in one place, then we could be in trouble. But, you know, same with Asana. So it's good having duplicates. I don't have anything added in here, which is fine. I just haven't done that yet. And then I have coaches on my team. And this is what I mean by tags. Tags, these are all these little categories, I call them, that I've created. And I have different labels by people. So I have coaches on my team right now. I have a section for Beachbody Leads. I don't know if I'll add in there, but I think that it'd probably be a smart idea. I have quotes. I have friends. So this is where I have all of my contacts. And in Asana, you are able to transfer over, you know how on like Teamsy, you can run an Excel file and it'll kind of output it into your contact list from Facebook into an Excel document for you, and then you would drag it into Teamsy and it would upload. Well, not to get all technical on you here, you are actually able to do that in Asana, but the only problem is I think you can only transfer a couple hundred at a time. So what you end up doing is, you know, you export your Facebook contact list, your friends, then that's in a safe place in a file on your computer. Then you're able to go into that and copy 100 names and then paste them in here. And when you go to add task, this is how I would add a new person. So the only thing that's different about this project per se, or section, not to get all fancy, is that I never click this. Even though it is called task, It's more like my people. This is where my people are organized. This is where the people and the conversations that I'm having are organized. So I have, for example, Nicole Clyer. If I click on that name, I can edit it over here and change spelling. Here is the notes section right under. It's like a small description. This is where I put like forming, which I don't have to do, but she's originally from my hometown of Williston. Let's say she wants to, this is just an example, lose 15 pounds. And what does she do for work? Maybe she's a dentist. She has 3 kids, divorce, and loves to run, hates weights. So this is where I add in my like kind of like bullet points when I'm talking to somebody. This girl Nicole, that way I can quick reference when I go back and need to. This girl Nicole, she's in here. I'm currently forming her. She's a customer prospect and she wants to lose 15 pounds. I already know this. Okay, it doesn't look like I don't have a capital I, so that means that I haven't invited her. So either the next time I talk to her, maybe I invited her, then I put a capital I. Or down here, this is where I like to make like copy and paste part of the conversation if need be, or just add my notes there and say invited to November CG. And then I just say comment. So just posted, invited. So that way I'd know. And I always have an I up here just to make sure that I'm letting the system know that I invited this person, because if I've ever invited somebody, that means that at some point they're going to say yes, they're going to say no, they're going to say maybe so, or maybe down the road. And the only other thing is what I do is anytime I'm entering in information about somebody, typically what I've been doing is I do a lot of follow-ups on Fridays, follow-up Friday, but today's the 5th. So it is set that I'm supposed to talk to her right now. Let's just say today. Let's say I talk to her. Do I check her off? No, because she's going to disappear. What I'm going to do is I talked to her, I invited her, and I don't know if she's going to respond or not, but I set up each contact now roughly about 2 weeks out. Unless I know that it's more urgent or something, and she says, hey, let me check with my husband, and I'll let you know after the weekend. Guess what? Maybe then I'd set it for Monday. So now I know that on Monday, that's when I need to reach back out to her and see what the verdict is. But I'm going to go in and delete this all because I don't want to be like, hey, how are your 3 kids if she doesn't even have 3 kids. So, and I'm going to get rid of actually the forming here. That's a bad habit to get into because I don't want it doubled up. That's just wasted work. So Nicole, she's from Williston, customer prospect. How did I get these 2 things here and why are they here? I'll explain that in a minute. This search bar is kind of like a Google thing. So think of this search bar as Google. So Nicole, I added, her personal notes here for my reference, and then customer prospect and forming. I can easily get rid of this, and then it'd just be blank. Well, I'm going to go back to the tags, which in other words are categories, and I've created some common ones I have. If I put in C, you'll see a few things come up. I've created discount coach, customer, coach prospect, customer prospect. Let's say, well, if I'm anybody that I'm talking to, I consider customer prospect. You just hit enter and it pops up. Then if I put in C again, once she orders something, then she's a customer. Maybe I talk to her and I feel like her goals align with mine and she would be an amazing addition to our team. So then I put coach prospect, for example. Okay, this is just an example. But she's not a coach prospect, so I'm going to delete that. These tags come in handy, and I'll show you a little bit later as to why. So I'm going into my friends, and right now, look, it doesn't show me that I have anything to do right now, but if I scroll, all these in red mean overdue tasks. And this means overdue because I had originally set this date to follow up. So, like, look at this Paige person. It looks like I invited her to SS, stands for Shift Shop event in like Paige. Or I period means also interested. So interested or invited. So that's pretty important. I obviously have not replied to her, but let's say I did reply to her today and that was such an overdue task. No big deal. Don't freak out. Just go to your month. Today's the 5th. Well, I don't want to put the 5th because then that's telling me that I'm setting up my next follow-up date. I'm deciding when is the best time for me to follow up with Paige. Well, I haven't talked to her in a while, so you know what? I'm going to actually move her and update her to tomorrow when I'm doing a lot of follow-ups. That way I can see what she's up to. This person, coach, prospect, I see the green. Okay, green's cool. So are all these alphabetical right now? No. Are they random? Yes. This Brittany girl, invited to coach, cool profile, is trying to love herself even though she can't gain weight. Okay, so I remember now. Now, this Brittany girl that I was talking to, she had made a post and she was talking about how she's tired of people body shaming her and other people that do have trouble gaining weight. A lot of people name call her and ask her what drugs she's doing or if she just doesn't eat and she has like an eating disorder or something, and that's pretty rude. But I invited her to coach flat out after that because it was like, you know what? I would love to have somebody advocate like that. I would love to help you gain weight, and I would also love, to help you love yourself even though people are pretty hard on you. So that's why I put coach prospect, is because to me, she stood out. So it looks like I already have a follow-up date set up for Tuesday, so I'm not going to change that. And it looks like I copied and pasted part of, good, thanks darling, busy just getting everyone set up in my fall fitness boot camp, all settled in, blah, blah, blah. What about you? What's new? So it looks like Tuesday at 8:11 p.m. was my last time that I reached out. This automatically updates what you did here, which is cool because it saves it. It's like a timestamp. So I copied part of this conversation and just posted it in the comments section here. That way it's saved and it shows that that was my last date that I talked to her, in case I was curious. All right, so you're probably wondering right now, here's my main thing, my daily to-dos, which is my power hour, and then my friends, which are all my contacts. Because I can't cross these off and they disappear, I actually go to change view. And if you view completed tasks, well, it doesn't really matter. This is where it's kind of tricky and it doesn't make the most sense when you're customizing, but view, why would I view completed tasks? Is it going to change much? No, it's going to show me nothing because I actually haven't checked off any of my friends because they'll disappear because I don't have it as repeating. The people aren't really a task to me, right? So I just always have it set to incomplete because I will never check these off. But what I do is I go to sort and then I go to due date or alphabetical. Due date. Okay. So what this shows me here is that I have all of these people that I had originally set that I need to follow up with. So there was a while where I wasn't tracking the best, right? And I wasn't always updating. So Penny, I actually just talked to her like 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to change, or 3 days ago. So I'm going to change this 2 weeks out. Because on average, like that's something realistic. So it shows like either I formed her, then I invited her, challenge group. She was in the Shanti free 7-day group. I invited her again in July. She bailed, she kind of ghosted. And then later she said she's just not ready right now with her schedule. So I do have her as a coach prospect because during our forming session when we had talked, we'd gone through the entire script. So she has the order link and she had decided that when she's ready to sign up, she would like to be a discount coach. So that's why I have coach prospect as a reminder so that I don't even need to ask. I just remember that. And if I scroll down here, invited, asked about schedule, how are you? So here's just a few things that I felt like I should copy and paste and even form more comments. So she's going to order back in May. Now she just wants to do the free group, WTF. So just some examples there. But basically, it shows me all the overdue people. So let's say I'm going in for my follow-ups. I know exactly where to start. As long as I change the view and I go to due date. Okay. Then if I scroll up, it's going to give me the most overdue tasks. So at least I know priority-wise, it sorts it for me, which is nice. And I can go until I'm ready. Something about Teamsy that really overwhelmed me is anytime you fall behind on follow-ups, it would just have this number that would just keep adding up, and it would just stress me out. And until you're caught up and it's back to 0, then I just didn't feel like I was completing everything I needed to do. Because I randomly set up on average about 2 weeks out for people, sometimes those dates start to overlap, and all of a sudden I could have like 50 people on the same date. I didn't intentionally do that, and it's just not realistic for me to have, 50 follow-ups on a Monday while I'm starting new conversations as well. It's just not realistic. So instead of getting all bent out of shape, one of my tricks is to scroll up all the way to the top. So click that, Cassandra Henson, hold down Shift, scroll to, we could scroll down a ways. Let's just scroll down to Eleni, let go of Shift, go up to the calendar, and I don't like seeing red, so what I'm going to do is, since they're obviously all way overdue, October 5th, I'm already doing a lot of follow-ups here, so how would I set them to a realistic date of, we'll do this first batch, the 12th, so 1 week from today. Okay, so now it took all those September dates out. You didn't see them disappear, but it did. So now we're going to go up to Marie. We're going to start there. We're going to shift. We're going to hold down Shift because it will grab any group. We're going to go down to Christopher Oyen. So it's got a chunk there that I selected. I'm going to let go of Shift. I'm going to click Due Date. And then I just did the 12th, right? Well, I already have a lot of follow-ups here on the 19th, so I'm just going to do it for a Saturday. And all of these tasks I'm going to assign to myself for Saturday the 20th. Boom, they disappeared. So, Allie Glover, we're going to shift, and, whoops, I let go of the shift. So, click, hold down the Shift button, scroll. Very good. It's really slow when you're doing a screen share. We're going to scroll down and click Crystal. Notice how it highlighted all of these here. Again, it's saying 27 tasks, due date. So I had already done the 12th, which I'm going to be busy on the 12th doing all of those follow-ups because I need to play catch up, but I don't want to be super overwhelmed, so I'm going to divide this up. Then I did the 20th. Now, how about we do the 26th? We'll go back to Friday. Friday the 26th, bam. So now we're to August, and we're just about caught up here. So let me just do this really quick. You can scroll all the way down to the red. And too many, oh, you can't select more than 100, okay. All right, that's fine. Ugh. Let's just unclick all of that. Okay. So apparently it has a limit of 100. Not the end of the world. Hopefully you're not that overdue. So we're just going to go to Steph. 38, and we're going to do the 27th. Okay. We're going to click here, hold down Shift, scroll. Go to Bridget. She actually just ordered. So see how it's like not all of these tasks are actually outdated. It's just sometimes I forget to update them. We're going to put that on the 28th. Okay, so we are all caught up. Back to friends. So, oh no, not completely. There's a few in here. But if we go to our settings and change the view, since it's all mixed up now and it's not sorted, we could go to due date. It looks like we have a tiny bit left of the red, but you get the idea. So I do have one follow-up scheduled for today, but another cool thing is that you can do it and do alphabetical. Let's say you're all caught up and you're just kind of like, I don't know who I want to follow up with, but I'm just going to pick random people. If they are blank like this, it means that it was one of my adds, a task added, like a person added, and sometimes it'll show you dates. So I think it actually grabs the date that you added that friend on Facebook. I think that's what the May 22nd is. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing because I know some of these people, that's when I added them. So anyways, that's just from the transfer over, the copy and paste from the people, but you don't really need to worry about that. You can delete it if you want to. Like if you wanted to delete that, just delete it. But if it doesn't have anything, it just means that I haven't talked to that person yet. So if you're looking to start new conversations, this is a great place to come, is just go and change the view, go to sort to alphabetical, and then that's where I usually find my large gaps, and I'm like, okay, these are the people I'm going to start up a junction with today. And I'll go to their profile on Facebook or something and figure it out. If you are an Instagram junkie, I wonder if I have any Instagram things in here. I'm trying to use it more, but yeah, no, I don't have any Instagram added yet, but that'd be easy to do. You just add their Instagram handle name, and at least you'd be able to track them in some way, shape, or form. And then later, once you've got their name, maybe you ask for their like Facebook name, like, hey, I want to add you on Facebook. Then you could add their name up here and then their Instagram handle down there, which is just like the @ and then whatever their Instagram name is. Like mine is like Fit Girl Danny or something like that. Like, and it can just be like nonsense. So that is called an Instagram handle. But yeah, so I just haven't talked to these people at all. That's all that means, but their names are in there. So let's say that I'm in my daily to-dos and I'm doing follow-up. And okay, so let's go to the friends. I'm trying to think of a name of somebody that I would know for sure. Okay, so search bar. This search bar, treat it like a Google bar. Bridget Helm. So if I type in B, notice how just like Google, these weird things coming up. You're getting some bot squad members. This is a tag, so this is a category. Business builder I have so that I stay on top of communicating with people that are actively working their business in case they have specific questions. Then there's people in here as well. So I'm going to keep typing Bridget. And let's just say I am looking for Bridget Helm, which is this first one. So you press the arrow down button and you can press enter and it'll give it to you. But let's say I wasn't. Let's say I was looking for Bridget Hello. Enter. Nope, nothing. Okay, so what that means, let's say I just started a conversation with a Bridget Hello and I still didn't see her. Okay, nothing. So what that means is that maybe I need to add a task. Maybe I'm obviously talking to a Bridget Hello in Facebook, and I wanted to make sure that I'm tracking my conversation with her. And I just told her she had gorgeous hair and asked where she got her blonde hair dyed in Denver. So add task. And then I'd add Bridget. Since I already did the search and she didn't come up, it means that I don't have her in my database. So maybe she's a new friend. Bridget Hello. And then I'd say hair, blonde, gorge, due date 2 weeks out, 19th, tag C for customer prospect, and that's it. That's all I add for a new person if I'm having a conversation with them and want to make sure that I'm tracking it in my system. So I always have up, if you see here, my Asana, and then I have a tab for Messenger. So whatever's happening here, I'm able to copy and paste or translate right over here. So instead of like scrolling through and looking for someone's name alphabetically, I just type up here, and if it pops up, then I add to it. If it doesn't pop up, that means I don't have the person in the system yet, so I just add it. So let's just get rid of delete task. Like I said, I never do that unless I'm permanently deleting it. But let's say right now I'm talking to Bridget Helm, which is actually my sister-in-law. Bridget Helm. I see it, I scroll down, I hit enter, it selects it. So now it's going to show me sister-in-law invited, text again, October 28th is my follow-up. She's a customer. She is on, here, I should probably update this, has all access challenge pack and supplements on Shakeout. So that's it. And if you scroll down, you'll notice wants in for September. So I'd already talked to her and invited her, and she's just a customer, so that's how I'd update it. That's it. Let's say, yeah. So let me make sure that I've done everything so far. Oh, I haven't. Okay. Friends is probably like this whole friends section that I created, whatever you want to call it. You can edit the name. You can set highlight color. I don't know. Maybe we should do pink. Let's do pink. That's fun. Look at that. Okay. Progress. So it's not going to show much progress because I don't click friends. But if we do daily and we click progress, it should show more. Okay, so 1,057 tasks completed, 22 tasks remaining. So part of this is my, it's counting my daily to-dos that I have set that I have not checked off as a task completed yet. So it's pretty cool to see that. I'd rather see that than a bunch of red, because red just freaks me out and it stresses me out. So back in the friends section, here's where tags come in handy. Let's say I have, let me just take a drink of this and we have to finish up because this Zoom meeting is going to cut me off. Let's say, I'm trying to think here. Let's say I have 20 minutes and I haven't hit my numbers yet for Success Club. And I have 20 minutes to just follow up with people that I've already invited that just haven't pulled the trigger yet, or people that were once interested, right? That's a great way. Follow-ups, the fortunes in the follow-up. So let's say I have to a challenge group. So if I put I and then CG and hit enter, it's going to pull up, it's going to act like a Google search and pull up some of this information. Since I put in something kind of weird, chances are I have either invited these guys or they were interested at one point. So let's look at how great this can be. So Ashley, Rodan and Fields, forming invited. Maybe said she was thinking about it, touch base. So this is an area that she wants to improve. Like I said, I like to track people's goals. That way I can follow up and say like, hey, did you still want to lose those 20 pounds? I'd love to help you do it, you know, but we're down to the wire with my challenge group. So don't like running, don't like push-ups, eating. Okay, so I have all this information about Ashley. So Ashley would be a good one to maybe follow up with. Even though I don't have her scheduled to talk right now, she'd still be a good one. So let's look at Trish and Wyatt maybe invited to challenge group. So obviously I kind of type and use, you can use whatever kind of language or symbols or stuff so that you know what you're talking about in shorthand, but this is just invited challenge group. Okay, so I've invited her before. Obviously I have, oh, it shows that I'm going to follow up with her tomorrow. Alana Erickson. Invited to challenge group again. Was I at one point? She was interested at one point. Invited to challenge group. Invited to challenge group. Invited to challenge group. Alina, customer. She is a customer, coach prospect. She's maybe interested in coaching in the future. Okay, married, part of the conversations. Okay, all right. So Alina, I've actually talked to recently. So we're just gonna set her out for the 26th because she's already a customer. She's in my challenge groups. I talk to her all the time. So I don't need a reminder to follow up with her. But see how it's kind of cool to have that search there. So now, again, it's like Google. Whatever you just typed is gone. So I'm just going to type in yoga and see if anything comes up. All right, bam. So maybe I took notes on people, and let's say we have a new yoga program coming out, and I want to invite these people to try the new program. Oh, okay, I asked her about yoga club. She liked my yoga post. I asked her about yoga because she had liked my yoga post. She loves running, yoga, interested in November group. Personal trainer, Sensi, office manager, accountant, yes to the 14-day trial. Ooh, invited her to shift shop. I said no to having her in my groups, didn't want to step on toes, but at one point she really wanted to do the free week. None of her friends were running it, so she did sign up with me for that. Okay, yeah, so that's basically what yoga showed me. So these are just great examples of how you can search, and different tags that I have. Let me see if I can find some other one. Coach prospect. Okay, so let's say another example of why these tags are a great idea. Let's say we have a coach sneak peek coming up, and I am like, I don't even remember all the people that I've talked to. I don't, you may have a list of about 5 people off the top of your head that you want to invite to that coach sneak peek that your team is having. But off the top of your head, after number 5, you just can't remember. So we'll just look up coach prospect. Hit enter and it'll search, and you'll notice a lot of the green that comes up. Okay. I don't know, friends, why that's in pink. Don't know what I did, but okay. Yeah, so I have coach prospect here. So basically, at some point when I click all of these, sometimes, it only shows so many tag colors at once, but I know that for some reason, at some point, there's something that either I thought they'd make a great coach or whatever that I put coach prospect down. So you can go ahead and scroll down and talk to all these people, and that's how I'd know. So Alina, let's say I want to talk to Alina, then I'd go to my messages, and I would go, Alina. And there she is. And you could copy and paste the same message if need be, but I would just be like, hey girl, I have this, coach sneak peek coming up, and I thought of you because I know we've talked about it in the past, and it wasn't the right timing for you in the past to learn more about it, but would maybe now be a better time. Obviously not in those exact words, but that's just off the top of my head. So you could just copy and paste that same message. And what I would do here is, let's say I just sent that message, then I would probably just set the follow-up. If the group is in a week, I'd obviously want to follow up with her before then, so maybe I'd pick Monday, maybe Tuesday, something like that to make sure you'd have enough time to get everybody ready to go. But that way, you could just scroll down and it gives you at least 30 people here that you can quickly invite to your next coach sneak peek. Hope that makes sense, you guys. If you ever just go back to your, but I love the daily to do. Ooh, sorry, I zoomed in here. I love the daily to do. This mouse is crazy. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Because it keeps me on track. It's a no-brainer. It's so easy. I don't have to think. I just already have it set up. Almost every day is identical. So I just go through and I click, and as I get stuff done, I click it off, and that's okay because I already have it set up to repeat. All of these tasks repeat on my daily to-do or power hour, whatever you want to call it. My friends is just what I don't click off. My friends are what I'm just constantly updating my follow-ups here and there. So that's about it. That's how I use Asana, why I use Asana, and I've tried Teamsy, which I really liked, but it costs money, and like I said, that follow-up number would really get to me and make me super overwhelmed, and I just felt like I was always trying to catch up, and it would give me so much anxiety that I lost focus on having quality conversations with people. I was going more towards numbers, so I was losing sight, and that was just me personally. I love the program. It reminds me a lot of Asana, but I love how Asana, you can personalize it. So another great thing to put in projects, which I hope to do at some point, is maybe adding in your scripts here. So that way you have your scripts in one section, your coaches, your leads, your quotes, your friends, your daily power hour, maybe, I don't even know, whatever else you can think of that would be important to you. So then I'll finish this up here. I just want to show you what I have going on in my tab. So I have my messages up here, and I have tons of Facebook duplicated tasks or duplicated tabs because, wow, this is so slow. We'll just close out of this so I don't have to go back and forth. So I have a home page here. I might have a group here. Yeah, it's just group. So our team page here, another group is coming up, a recruiting group. Mastermind group. Then we have, I have a YouTube video up. Then I have Google Forms, and I have my Google email, my regular email, Zillow, Pinterest, so that I always have a Pinterest up in case I need a new post idea. I don't know why this is being like weird. Hold on, I've got to move this down a little bit. That's getting in the way. Okay. I have my challenge group here, and then I have my guidelines here. Then I have an art project there, Google. I'm going to be getting a personal assistant, just an online one, and I'm going to see if I can pay them. If you do overseas, it is actually cheaper. So there's some people that work for like $3 an hour. I can't afford much right now, but just to help me out with some efficiency stuff, you know, entering in data entry into Asana as I'm working. I'm getting better at multitasking doing that, but ideally, I would be spending more time on conversations if I could outsource something like data entry. So if I'm writing down my 20 new conversations with their names and maybe, I don't even know, like a note or two about them, writing down on paper, then I can just take a picture and I can have someone just update my Asana is my goal, because I also write down as I'm going. I write down important things on a small notebook. I'll show you quick. Okay. Okay, so, you know, this is hard to see because I'm doing a screen share and I don't want to screw that up right now. But basically on this little notebook, what I write down is I write down my 10 invites a day, my names of people that I invited. And then I always write down the names of 20 new conversations that I started. I write them down on this little thing as I go. And then follow-ups, I just simply tally, because sometimes, you know, I follow up with 30 to 40 people. It just depends on the day. So for example, it's faster to me to write down something rather than to go back and forth each time in Asana as far as tracking goes if I have a section like this. So technically, if I had someone helping me and I was paying them to do some data entry, I could take a picture of this and they would know for 20 new combos, they would know to go into each one of these people's names in Asana and update them and put my follow-up 2 weeks out from the day that I currently snapped this picture. Because that's like just the habit I want to get into. I just picked about 2 weeks out. That way I'm constantly, working on building relationships, and it's just that snowball effect. Same with invitations. I've had so many invites fall through the cracks, people that I've actually had the courage to invite, or I felt the need to invite, or they expressed an interest, and I missed out on following up with them. So we only have a few minutes left here, but that's my idea and thought process there. So back to the screen share. I always have this up because it's more efficient. So a lot of the stuff I learned doing design work. So let's see here. What else? Okay, the last thing I want to show you before we get off here. So Asana. So sometimes I have, random things that I'm writing and trying out. 2 days ago, yesterday, I wanted to invite my 10 people and I didn't have 10 cultivated relationships at the time. So what I decided to do was, it's almost like a cold invite, but a little less creepy. So people that liked my, I made a Cajun taco recipe, and I just said, hey darling, thanks for liking my healthy Cajun taco recipe for National Taco Day, LOL, and must have been a smiley face. I actually made this recipe to share with my current Fall into Fitness boot camp. I plan to do the same in my November Level Up Challenge too. Is that something you'd like to take part in? Have any specific health and fitness goals you'd like to hit? And that was kind of like asking him, like, hey, you liked the healthy recipe, and because you did that, it made me think of you. Like, would you have any interest in my upcoming group, kind of? So sometimes I'll just have in my notes, but I always have my notes up, and that's because I have some part of scripts here, all down here. Okay, you'll notice I have how I respond to people in my event page, how to start random convos, invites and follow-ups, conversation guide. So I kind of have these up at almost any given day. Revised 5-day, I think that's a clean eating group. So yeah, like, by the way, I just have random things in the notes that I keep, and then I have some important links and stuff, and like when people are joining, I don't know, just anything that you'll end up repeating over and over and over. It's not only important to have documents, but to start copying and pasting things in places so that as your team grows, you're able to have documents to pass on to them. So like, for example, how to start random combos. One of my coaches at one point had one thing she was struggling with was how to start random conversations with people. So based on the things that I was doing and some things that I had learned from my upline, I created a document, and for example, hey darling, thanks for liking my health and fitness post. It's super encouraging, and sometimes it can be hard to be so transparent on social media, but the support keeps me going. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? I'm not necessarily going to invite them to my next challenge group in that same conversation, but we do have something in common. So that's the point, is just to get to know people and see if they're maybe like your cup of tea or not. Yeah, I just said that. New dog mom. So stuff about dogs, stuff about hair, stuff about compliments, and, just Lululemon. Stuff that I like, that I'm just tracking in my words and how I phrase things. So like I said, it's just, I have this stuff up for easy access down here on the side, and then about 20 tabs up and open in here, with Asana and Messenger being my number one go-to. those are the two most important things to me that I always have up for tracking and for messaging, because this is a people's type of business. So I know that this whole thing, I'm going to stop the share here. I know that this was not the most planned Zoom call in the world, but it was pretty dry information, and I was walking you through just to show you. I'll have to make a better video later on, like a more honed in one, but you know, in real life. So what you see is what you get. I hope this helps you. And if you decide to use Asana, that it is as easy and convenient for you as it is for me. I think the only trick is that you must have a Gmail account in order to set up an Asana account. But Asana will email you your tasks and what have you. So it is kind of nice to open up my email and have Asana say, you know, hey, you have a bunch of tasks to do. So whether they're real tasks or just talking about people, either way, it's a good reminder, hey, like, get your ass in gear. Let's do this. So I just really like so many things about Asana, and I like that we can maybe put our money elsewhere into, you know, maybe personal development or trainings to get better, or, you know, maybe you're just getting by and affording your Shakeology, and, you know, maybe you're running your husband's account too, so you're paying for double, which is cool. It's just, it all depends on where you're starting. So anyways, I just wanted to try and help you all with Asana and let you know kind of my train of thought, some tips and tricks on how to use it, and what my kind of dashboard looks like when I'm doing my power hours, and how I found some of those tricks to help with efficiency and time management. So the more that I have up, the less that I'm going back and forth and losing time in there. You know what I mean? And you can always drag tabs to be closer together as well. You know, if there's a tab over here and it's your Google tab and you happen to want it as your third one in, click it and drag it and drop it. And then I also hope that shift trick helps you as well, you know, holding down shift so you can click more than one thing at a time and make one simple change instead of doing it individually. So yeah, anyways, that's some stuff that I figured out that has really helped me, and I hope that it helps you in tracking and keeping track of these conversations, because you're going to make some, you know, great new best friends. You're going to meet some great new people, and hopefully have some new people joining your business as well. But yeah, that's it. Have a great day, and thanks for watching, you guys. I'm going to close this out now.